Hey everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to our Monday Facebook Live, transforming fear and doubt into confident power. So, if you are a coach, a healer, a service based entrepreneur, you are in the right place. If you find yourself going to take action and then fear or doubt grabs a hold of you and then you stop, you procrastinate, maybe get stuck in the monkey mind. And before we dive into today's topic, I am going to begin the way we always begin, which is to take a few breaths. This is one of the ways to access your confident power is to connect to your source, connect to your breath, be in your body, and come from that centered place. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes with me if you can, if you're not behind a car. So we're going to close our eyes and we're going to take 3 nice deep breaths together. And as you exhale, you're going to exhale as though you're exhaling through a straw and just imagining yourself exhaling any doubt, any worry, any insecurity, and inhaling you being a good person, all of your good qualities. So we're going to close our eyes. We're going to take a nice deep breath, inhaling now, and exhaling through a straw. Inhaling again. And exhale through a straw. One last time, inhale. And exhale through a straw. And with your eyes closed, noticing your feet on the floor, noticing your body in your chair. And as you breathe deeply, really allowing your body to sink into your couch, your chair, your support. Remembering that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, even though it may feel like that sometimes. And just for this moment, just for this 30 minutes to an hour, see if you can just set it all down. And connect to that part of you that is always whole, always complete, always knows what the next step to take is. And just giving thanks for the unique person that you are with unique gifts that you get to share through this vehicle of your business. And remembering anything that you don't know, you can learn, you can figure out. You are more than enough. And as I count down from 3 to 1, gently prepare to open your eyes. 3, 2, and 1. Welcome, everyone. If you could let me know in the comments by either typing a 1 or dropping an emoji that you can hear and see me okay, because that wouldn't be cool if you couldn't. Happy Monday, everyone. You're in the right place. Welcome to Transforming Fear and Doubt into Confident Power. Hi. And for the person who said hi, it only says Facebook user, because I'm using StreamYard. So if you want to type your name in the comments and where you're tuning in from, I would love to be able to say hello to you personally. You are so welcome. So if you're meeting me for the first time, my name's Khadija Yansani. I am the founder, organizer of this Facebook group. My website is bloomintoyou.com, bloomintoyou.com, because it's about blooming into you, becoming the fullest version of who you are, letting all of your gifts and skills flourish in your own unique way. Hi, Deborah, tuning in from Mexico. Yay, so happy that you're here. I'm also the creator of the Client Creation Queen program, where I help my clients package their offering, get paid, get clients, and really feel like they're living their sacred calling and expressing the thing that they came here to express. I've coached and consulted with dozens of Fortune 500 companies, Clorox, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley. I won't go into all of them. I've trained and worked directly with some seven-figure entrepreneurs in our coaching industry, and I've learned so much from working with them. Welcome, Linda, in Nevada City. I've facilitated hundreds of workshops online, offline, in the areas of personal growth and business development. I'm also a mom to a 5 and 7-year-old who are out for the summer. And I'm a daughter of aging parents that live 10 minutes away. So I understand all the things. Maybe you have a full-time job. Maybe you're in transition. You have pets. You have a full life. And still, there's this part of you that wants to be expressed through your business. Someone says that I stalled, not sure why. Let me know if it keeps stalling. So thanks for letting me know. I'll keep going, but let me know if it keeps stalling. So today's class is transforming fear and self-doubt into confident power. And these are topics that come up a lot in my coaching conversations with clients, in my conversations on consultation calls, workshops, what have you, that people feel stopped by fear, or that it's just there lurking in the background. And so if you've ever found yourself thinking thoughts like, do I really have what it takes to get my business to where I want it to go? You know, what if people sign up? What if they're not happy? What if I can't deliver the goods? Or maybe you've thought that, you know, everyone seems to have it all figured out. Like they seem to know what to do to get the results they want, but it's not happening for me. Or maybe judging yourself, like, why am I not further along? I feel like I should be at this other place, and not feeling necessarily good or confident where you are. So I wanted to talk about that today. So we're going to cover a few things today. The first one really is just how to overcome the 3 biggest blocks, as I see it, to feeling as confident as you want, not just in your life, but also in your business and what you're putting out there. How you can begin to feel more confident and really just begin to own who you are and what you do. You know, I find that sometimes like that's just the hardest part, is just owning that, like, wow, I really did help that company do this, and that is transferable and it can help others in this new industry. I'm also going to share a little simple hack. A lot of these hacks are simple, and oftentimes it's just about us actually implementing the tools that we know that are at our disposal, and using them on a regular basis. So first, I want to share that fear, self-doubt is a normal process. It's normal to feel fear when you haven't done something before, or maybe you've done it several times and you're still having the nerves. You know, one of the things that comes up for me is just like, you know, thinking about public speaking. I used to have this story, and I always wanted to be in front of people, even in like elementary school or high school. And I just had this story that, oh my God, I'm really scared of public speaking. But somehow I still wanted to do it. And I would just get the nerves, and I'd be like, why did I sign up for this? I have to read this poem. I don't want to do it. My stomach is turning. And then, you know, I would feel nervous up until I had to perform. And then the first few moments, and then I would feel like I was in my zone. I landed in my spot. And then afterwards, I would feel nervous again. Like, did I do a good job? Was it good enough? And so for a long time, it literally felt like a torturous thing of wanting to do this thing. I wanted to share and show up, but then a lot was happening for me physiologically. And I was just like, oh my God, there's got to be a better way. And so before I go into some of these other tools, I'll share with you, for me, as it relates to public speaking, I really needed to shift my relationship to the nerves. So rather than saying, I'm so nervous, I'm so scared, I feel sick to my stomach, right? I really needed to shift that and be willing to say that I was excited because, fear and nerves and excitement can feel similarly in the body. And I really needed to be able to breathe into that and stop scaring myself, right? Because I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm gonna throw up. And I felt like it was really bad. And there are several things that I did. I used to do emotion EFT for that, and that helped me a lot. And just doing a lot to calm my nervous system prior to public speaking. And my relationship to it has completely changed. It doesn't mean that I don't get nervous, but even if I do get nervous, it doesn't feel the same way where I felt like I feel sick. Why did I sign up for this? And so just even being able to shift how we're looking at fear is incredibly important. And I know that if you hear, you know that what we put our attention on grows. And so if we're focusing on our fears and doubts, it's going to grow. And we're just going to create a big old snowball around fears and doubts. And if we focus on how we want to serve, where we are confident, our confidence is absolutely something that can grow if we put our attention on it. And so let's try to demystify fear a little bit so it can have less power on you. And so I love to start with definitions. And, fear literally it's an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something dangerous that's likely going to cause pain or a threat. So I want you to think about that, like when you find yourself thinking fearful thoughts around your business or feeling fearful, like just literally asking yourself the question, like, is there a threat here? Is this dangerous for me to post on my personal page? Like, am I going to be harmed by actually doing this? And you just being able to ground yourself in reality, like, okay, what am I afraid that's going to happen if I charge this price? What am I fearful that's going to happen if I host this event? And you literally being able to coach yourself through the fear, like, well, I'm afraid no one's going to show up, for example. So what if no one shows up? Well, then what would you do? What would you do? I had an event where it was a women's circle years ago, and it was 7:30 was the time and no one came, and it was like 7:30, 7:35, 7:40, 7:45. And so I said, you know what, like, this is the time. This was one of my earlier women's groups. And I was like, you know what, I set the time in my mind. I was telling the universe, like, even if no one shows up, I'm going to sit here in this yoga studio for this amount of time so that you know that I'm serious, that I am ready to invite clients and invite community into my world. And so I was sitting there. 15 minutes later, one person came, and she was really excited that she had me all to herself. And so she basically had just her own workshop and coaching session. And she actually did end up becoming a client. And I love sharing that story because one of the fears when it comes to putting on something is this fear of, like, what if nobody comes? And sometimes we're not ready for people to come. That's why they don't come. Sometimes we haven't promoted or marketed enough and people don't know about it. That's why they don't come. And sometimes we just need to, like, start igniting that flame and keep showing up until the thing catches fire and people start to show and come and spread the word. So type a 1 in the comments if you're with me, if you're following me. So we said that fear is like you're feeling a threat. If you do something, if you show up in a certain way, something bad is going to happen. Maybe you're going to lose the love of your family. Maybe you're going to lose your job. Something bad is going to happen. And if you can actually ask yourself, like, what am I afraid is going to happen? And if that thing were to happen, what would you do? But what's so interesting is oftentimes when we're playing out scenarios, we're usually thinking in worst case scenarios versus best case scenarios, right? So one scenario is, thank you for the 1 in the comment. one case scenario is the worst thing can happen. And what if the best scenario happens, you know? And so that's where we get to exercise our faith, because that's really what you're working for. It's like, you're starting your business, you're growing your business, you're developing your business, you're developing your next level programs because you have faith in the best case scenario. And I also want to say, even though they say here that fear is really just an emotion, an unpleasant emotion, but you can also feel fear physiologically. Your heart might start to beat faster. Your mouth might get dry. You might start sweating. Those are all things that people feel like they want to avoid. And so as soon as you start feeling those sensation or those emotions, sometimes people feel like it's a sign to stop. This isn't the right thing. I shouldn't do that. Versus, this is where I get to lean into a scary edge, grow, and then expand my capacity for more. Because once you've crossed that quote unquote terror barrier, you're like, oh my God, you're a bigger person. Your confidence has now increased. And then doubt, I said fear and doubt because sometimes your people are feeling both of them. Sometimes it's one or the other, but I would say I see both, right? So doubt is a feeling of uncertainty or a lack of conviction. So you're not believing in yourself. Maybe you're not believing in your offer. Maybe you're not believing that, you know, you can help someone the way someone else can help them. And the truth is that you've seen this where you talk to someone and you're not feeling their confidence. You're not feeling their confidence that they can help you because they're still feeling a little bit shaky. And so we are highly intuitive beings, whether we can physically name it or not, like we can feel things beyond what we can express. Hey, local, we can feel things beyond what we can express. And so if you feel from someone that they're not really sure that they can help you, you're not going to be able to relax and land and trust that they can actually help you. So I'd love for you to consider, you know, where in your business are you feeling doubt? Is it your prices? Is it your offer? Is it the content that you're creating? Where are you feeling doubt? And what can you do? What can you do that's going to make you solidify how you feel about yourself? We're getting some interesting comments here that we just need to block. So maybe you're afraid to show up because people are going to be like, hey, kitten in the comments, right? And know that you could just be like, I'm just going to block that person. It's not that deep. You don't have to take it on. And so some fears and doubts that people might have is, like we already talked about, the fear of people not showing up, people not buying your offer. What if you get a bad review? What if someone from the past tries to challenge who you are now? There's so many things. Maybe people have fear of, you know, investing in themselves. What if I don't get my money back? There are all these what ifs. And if you can begin to answer the what if, like, well, what if that did happen? What if someone did write you a bad review? Because I'm not here to tell you that that won't ever happen. It could potentially happen. And so someone's asking me, you're asking another Black person if they support Black people. I'll let you ponder that question. And so you get to decide. We always have consistent voices to listen to, right? So like we can listen to the voice of doubt. We can listen to the voice of fear. We can listen to the voice in the comments that are trying to distract you. Or you can listen to the voice of your authenticity. You can listen to the voice of your confidence. In my program, I call that the voice of the queen, because the point here is not to erase fear and doubt, but you don't have to let fear and doubt lead you. So type a 1 in the comments. If anything's resonating with you, I would so love to know. So in my 9-step client creation process, the first step that I talk about is to decide. And I'm not going to go through all the steps here, but I just want to say that deciding that decision, deciding that you're good enough, deciding that what you have to offer is good enough, deciding that you're not going to let fear run the show is critical. So thanks for the ones. All right, so we're going to talk about how to overcome the 3 biggest obstacles as I see it to confidence. So the first one is perfectionism. Raise your hand or give me an emoji in the comments if you identify as a perfectionist. And so perfectionism can show up as waiting to take the right action. And this isn't about hurrying, this isn't about hustling, but sometimes we can just be waiting to perfect something. So I've seen people like, okay, I'm going to wait to perfect a program and then finally I'm going to launch. I'm going to wait to perfect my website, then finally I'm going to do this. I'm going to perfect this Facebook ad, then. And so what happens with perfectionism is that it can lead to postponing taking the next step that you need to take in your business to bring in more clients. And so I'm not saying compromise. I'm not saying compromise, your excellence or the quality that you feel like is important. You want to do your best and you also want to release it. And I imagine that if you're here, you're highly intuitive, you are connected to yourself. When you're putting something off out of fear versus, I just need to handle a few things and I'm going to put it out. So one of the things I've had to learn to do is just put out good enough, and that doesn't mean I don't care. I didn't put my heart into it. But again, if you're perfecting, it could take a really, really long time. And sometimes people feel like there's this myth that confidence comes first. First, I'm going to perfect. That's going to make me confident. Then I'm going to put it out there versus doing the thing that you're scared to do is the thing that actually has you build your confidence muscles. So put perfectionist in the comments if you identify or relate to being a perfectionist. And I just want to say, I understand, I feel like I'm someone, I've shared before that beauty is a core value of mine. And I can be very particular about how I want things to look and how I want to share. And I have learned over time to just be like, Khadijah, you just need to post that. Okay. It's, my ideal version might have looked like something else, but it's gotten better over time. And so if I look at the first iteration of my Client Creation Queen program, that's I just had to be willing to be like, okay, this is where I'm at. And it continues to get better over time with input from people that are in the program that go through it. And that's going to be the same thing for the things that you do. So the second obstacle, so the first one was perfectionism. The second one is comparisonitis, which is constantly comparing yourself to others. So you see other people in your industry, and thanks for the one letting me know that you can connect or relate. So comparisonitis is just constantly comparing yourself to what other people are doing and how they're showing up. And you see someone else's brand and you feel like, oh, my brand isn't good enough. It should look like them. Or they're getting all this engagement and you're like, wow, how come I'm not getting that engagement? Or they're making this income goal and you're not there. And so what that does is that it has you feel less confident in yourself because you're like, wow, I can't compete with that. And so you feel you're not showing up as consistently as you need to be or would like to be because you're seeing what other people are doing and feeling impacted by that. And all comparison is not negative. There's a difference. There's also positive comparison, which can be helpful and useful. Sometimes seeing other people doing what you want to do or would like to be doing next can have you feel inspired and feel like, hey, I was thinking that exact same thing. I don't know if you've ever had the experience where you're thinking about some content or some themes that you wanted to start discussing and sharing, and then you started seeing other people do that. And so that is reflecting back to you that to move in that direction. So not all comparison is bad or unhelpful. What I'm talking about when I say that comparisonitis can be an obstacle to confidence is negative comparison. So if you're comparing yourself to other people and you're feeling less than, you're comparing yourself to other people and you'd be like, oh, this person stole my idea, so now I can't do that because they've already done it. And the truth is, even if someone's already done it before, they can't quite exactly do it like you. And I often think about, you wouldn't tell a college student, oh, there's so many doctors out there, you shouldn't go to med school, or there's so many teachers out there, you shouldn't, or nurses, rather than, again, the whole don't let the comparison thing take you down. If you find yourself being really affected that, I would be highly, highly guard your feed, who you're watching. If you're not following people that are making you feel like you can do it too, then you might want to consider muting, unfollowing. It's just not really helpful. And we're already consumed with so much data on a daily basis. Like, carefully curate what you take in and that it's supporting you in being the next level version of yourself. And, negative comparison will have it be that you just always fall short. It's like somehow, some version, I'm not enough. So we said the first obstacle was perfectionism. The second one was comparison, negative comparison. And the third one is focusing on your weaknesses and gathering evidence to support that, right? So it's so easy to focus on what you're not good at. Oh, I'm not good at technology. I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at sales. I don't really like social media. Or, whatever you're saying that you're not good at. And so I know for me, I've had I used to have this thing of like, oh, I'm not good at technology. And I even might have thought at one point that I wasn't good at sales, but the truth is there's so many things that you can learn. So whatever fears I had around technology, it was just because I didn't have much experience with it. And once I was willing and open to learn certain things about technology, like I remember doing my webinar for the first time and feeling, wow, I've never done that. And it was a huge project. And am I going to be able to manage all of the things? And I learned. And yes, it felt wonky at first, but it got better over time. And so what can happen when we focus on our weaknesses and then we find evidence to support it? Like, what's up with that? What's up with that? Finding evidence. See? So like, let's take me for the technology one. I remember I did a workshop and then for some reason, they weren't able to hear me. Like, I think I could hear people, but they couldn't hear me. And so I remember feeling flustered and just like, you're like, oh man, I'm not good at technology. And it's like, I figured it out. I don't remember what I did to figure it out, but I figured it out and I moved on. And so similarly to if you can focus on your strengths and find evidence to support that, because when you do that, you are going to get many opportunities to affirm that you're not good at technology, that you're not good at marketing, that you're not good at sales. And so at a time where maybe I may have thought that I was not good at sales, one of the ways I was able to shift that and be like, well, that's actually not true. I'm really great with people. I'm really great with sharing my enthusiasm when I'm excited about something. So that also can transfer into sales. And so really break down all the things that you're considering or calling weaknesses or not strengths of yours in your business, and how can you create an opening? How can you create an opening around that so that you're leaning in and you're bringing your resourcefulness, your creativity to it, and so it feels more like fun and not work? So let me know in the comments with a 1 or an emoji that you're still with me. I'm going to grab a quick sip of water. When you focus on your strengths, other people will focus on your strengths as well. When you focus on your weaknesses, and what happens is you focus on your weaknesses, your whole posture shifts, your whole energy shifts and like gets on board with that. Whereas when you start to focus on on your strengths, other people will focus on them too. Your clients, your community, they're mirroring back what you're broadcasting. Thanks for the one in the comments. All right. So we talked about fear and doubt definitions, but we also have to talk about confidence. So confidence is a feeling of assurance arising from your appreciation in your own abilities or qualities. I'm going to read that again. Confidence is a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. And so if like you're not affirming this, confirming this, writing this down, so it's like if you're constantly affirming that whatever I don't know, I can learn, that my presence makes a difference, that my work makes a difference, that my clients are grateful to work with me, I'm grateful to work with my clients, that my audience is growing. If you affirm all of these things on a regular basis, it's going to be easier for you to show up and to create that. So what specifically can you do to feel more confident and clear about who you are and what it is that you have to bring? So one simple exercise is to really take inventory of the achievements you're most proud of. It can be in your life. It can also be in your business. It could be both, but not just thinking about them. It's a completely different experience when you actually take the time to write down the significant achievements of your life. Whether they're related to business or not, they still connect directly or indirectly, depending on what they are. But maybe, and it's not just writing down those achievements, but what it actually took to achieve it. So maybe you're really proud of going to college. Maybe you had 2 young children at the time. You were a single mom and you had 2 jobs and you graduated in 4 years. I mean, I'm just making that example up. But if you actually take the time to be like, wow, I did that. And I worked and I was a mom and committed to my family. Or maybe you worked in a job for 13 years and you helped a team become the #1 sales team in the region. Like whatever these gifts are, but like what did it take to do that? Because so often I talk to women who don't really take in and acknowledge what they've achieved. Because the skills that you use to get that degree, to help that sales team, to nurture those children are skills and qualities that you also bring into your coaching practice. And so step 1, write a list of your achievements, not just the achievements, but why are they impactful? What do they mean to you? When you take the time to do the what and the why, like why does that matter? Your whole energy shifts and really allows you to take in the gratitude and see what an amazing person that you are. And so that's the larger thing of like, okay, this is my achievements of my life throughout my personal and professional career. But you also want to have an attitude of celebration on a regular basis, where you celebrate all your wins, both big and small. And on one level, I know that you know that and have heard that. And it's one of those things that people can really take for granted. I work with incredibly accomplished women who, maybe they have jobs in corporate America, or maybe they're in a PhD program, or they've traveled by themselves. And it's like they've done just these amazing things, but haven't really taken the time to just really like, wow, I did that. I just, this month, so we're July 5th today as of this recording. And so every month I literally write down my top 10 achievements of the month. Every month. And when I start writing the first couple, like they come to me easily, but then I literally have to go through my calendar for the other 7. Sometimes it'll be more than 10, but at least 10. And I completely forget. I forget so many of the things that I've done in the month because I'm on to the next thing. I'm busy with my life. I'm looking forward, right? Not looking backwards. So just really taking the time. And when I do that and I write that down, I'm able to see my progress. When clients and people that I talk to don't do that, they don't see their progress and they'll feel like I haven't done anything and nothing's moving. And there's just this tone of feeling like they aren't moving because they aren't taking the time to really acknowledge and receive what they've done. So when we talk about what you can do to feel more confident and clear about who you are and what you have to give, go back into your history and look at your achievements. Have a practice of celebrating what you do on a regular basis, not just the big peak wins, right? Because sometimes people will hold back on celebrating until it's like that big thing. They're not going to celebrate until they actually have the income goal they set for themselves, without realizing that it's all those things along the way that open you up to get that income goal or whatever goal it is that you're wanting to achieve in your business. So if anyone wants to type in the comments, one thing that they want to celebrate, I'd love to hear it. One of the things you can do with this too is to get support. So get the support of an accountability buddy, a community. Hi, Rochelle. So nice to see you. You're welcome. An accountability partner, working with a coach, being in a program. These are all creating external containers for you to do this, because then you're not just doing it for yourself, but you have the energy and the momentum of a group or of others, or even one other person to help you do this. And so really take in the acknowledgments you get from your clients, the acknowledgments you get from the people in your groups that are following you. If they thank you for what you share, stop and take it in. Sometimes people are so moving so fast that they don't acknowledge it and just go on to the next thing. And feel free to stop me if you have any questions. Feel free to type them in the comments. And so a simple hack that you can do to shift into a confidence state, and you can do this anytime, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time, because you could be going to do something in your business. Like maybe you're going to post on your personal page. Maybe you're going to launch that next program. And then the fear voices and the doubt voices have taken a hold of you. And so one thing that you can do is to activate a memory of success that you've had in the past. And so look in your life, you just wrote down some achievements, so you should have one, right? And I did this for the first time with a coach, and it was so powerful, where he had me think of a moment where I felt really successful and really just get into that moment. And so the moment that came to mind was I was reading a poem for a program that I had just completed. And so what you want to do is to think about that moment of success. And really, if you can close your eyes, like visualize it, imagine what you were wearing, see yourself in that surrounding, and noticing the posture that you were in. So like just even the way we hold our bodies impacts our confidence, So it's just like when you're just like your head's hanging low and, well, they didn't call back and I thought they were going to sign up and they didn't, like just all of your energy is going this way. Versus, right? Shoulders up, head up, back straight, and thinking of that time and where, I was delivering this poem. I was wearing this amazing orange halter dress. It was a goddess dress, and I had a flower in my hair. And I took 3 deep breaths with the audience. I had them take 3 breaths, and I delivered my poem from my heart, right? And so if you can get into a time, a moment where you felt awesome. Someone says, I'm celebrating being consistent in creating bi-weekly podcast episodes. Yay, that's amazing. Definitely something to celebrate. And Rochelle says, I'm in the process of getting my certification as a life coach. Congratulations. How exciting. I'm so happy for you. So I feel excited when I hear people's acknowledgments and when I read them. It's something to celebrate. And so if anyone else wants to celebrate what they're up to, I would love to hear. And so, For you, it could be, you had a great podcast episode where you talked to someone and it just felt like you were being yourself and the questions came easily to you. And so what you're doing when you're doing that, of getting back into that success memory, is that you're anchoring it into your physiology, right? And so when you think about that moment, like how were you standing or how were you seated and what were you wearing? How can you bring that energy into the now? And so sometimes people will use a posture, like I know I've used a Wonder Woman pose at one time, whatever feels natural for you to kind of anchor it into your body to help you feel how you want to feel. And of course, you can use symbols. I didn't say earlier that I used to work for Mama Gina, and she's a New York Times bestselling author. And so she always would have a prop. And so her prop was a feather boa, so it's like you would feel a certain type of way if you were wearing a boa. For some people, it's stones. Everyone is so different. Maybe it's a shoes or a hat or a cane, or maybe it isn't something tangible that you're holding, depending, some of us are more tactile and we want to hold and feel things. But you definitely can use tools to help you activate that energy of confidence. For some of you, it might be the clothes that you're wearing. Maybe it's a perfume. If you wear makeup, maybe it's makeup for you. I'm not saying that you have to wear makeup, but these are just some ideas of things that you can do to help you shift your energy. And it just makes me think, we've been in this pandemic for some time. You're wearing yoga pants or you're being casual at home, no socks, maybe no bra. And then you put that on and you just feel a different way. So it's like, what costume, what superhero, what do you need to go from Clark Kent to Superman? And that can really help shift your energy. Rochelle, someone says, I'm celebrating moving abroad. Oh, how exciting. Tell us where you live now and where did you move? Rochelle says, I've been invited to speak at a grief and loss summit. Yay, that's so exciting. And Rochelle says, it's a combination. Yes, it's a combination of things. And like one of the coaching questions that you can ask yourself is like, what would make me feel more confident? So simple. Because so often people are in the experience of not feeling confident. And if you can catch yourself and be like, oh, I'm in a pattern of feeling fear, of feeling doubt, I'm not feeling confident or trusting in my skills or services, a good coach would ask questions that open up possibilities. So the great coaching question you can ask yourself is, what do I need to feel more confident? Maybe it's like, oh, I'm not feeling confident because I'm not prepared. So then now, okay, well, what would have me feel prepared? Maybe I'm not feeling confident because I don't know what to post. Maybe I need some templates on what to post and then I'd feel more confident. Maybe I'm not feeling confident because no one's going to show up. Well, maybe I should ask people to show up or ask someone that I know to be there who will show up. So ask questions that allow you to get out of fear and doubt. What would have me feel less afraid? I think that must be Deborah. I moved from Baltimore to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Yay, that is so exciting. If you have any pictures that you want to drop in the comments later, that's a big deal. Congratulations. And I'm so excited that you guys so many of you shared what you are celebrating. Celebration really has you experience the thing all over again. So when I was sharing earlier that I was writing down my 10 achievements, and many of them, maybe half of them, I forgot. And I was excited about it at the time, but I forgot. But when you give thanks and you celebrate it, it's like you get to relive it again, and it floods your system with feelings of joy, feelings of gratitude. And that's the energy that you want to bring to your coaching practice. That's the energy that you want to bring to your coaching sessions, to your sales conversations. All of that has an impact. I want to see if there is anything that I didn't share that I would like to. If anyone has any questions, I'm open to hearing them in the comments. So I'll do just a quick little review. We talked about overcoming the three biggest obstacles to confidence. And so they were perfectionism, comparison, and focusing on your weaknesses. We talked about things you can do to feel more confident, like by taking inventory of the successes you've had in your life and business, that really not just writing those things down, but what it took to do that. Like maybe you went to Europe in your 20s and you bought a one-way ticket and you didn't know how you were going to come back, but you went there and amazing things happened for you. Like, oh my God, what courage does that take? What skills did it ask of you to do that? And when people actually take the time to do this, I swear to God that like people really feel more confident showing up online and sharing their offers and sharing their services, because it's not just your program that people are getting when they sign up with you. They're getting all of your experience, all your life experience, all the tools and resources that you've learned in your personal and professional journey. So continue to celebrate your wins, no matter from small wins to big wins. Get support. There's no reason why you have to do this on your own. The thing with support too is that if you're caught in fear and doubt, like, right, you're like just kind of chasing the tail of fear and doubt, that you need an external thing to help you create a new habit, so that your new habit is self-worth and self-approval and loving yourself and having fun sharing who you are, because that's really ultimately one of the reasons that you're creating your business, is so that you have a vehicle to express all of who you are. And of course, you want to get paid to share your skills and talents. And a simple hack is to do a simple visualization where you recall times where you felt incredibly successful, so that you're feeling that, the physiological feelings of that. It's funny because I did a visualization recently because I'm wanting to manifest a new house. And I saw I saw my family in our kitchen. There's like a big farm table. I just finished cooking and we were like, I felt the experience of being in that scene. And so put yourself consistently in the scene that you want to create, and use whatever tools that help you do that. Sometimes it's music. I've had times where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm making a lot of drama out of just posting and sharing. And I just put my music in, and you're like, you're in your home vibe and frequency, and it becomes easy to share. So how can I make this easy is another great coaching question. How can I make this easy? How can I make this fun? Because that's going to help you always. Fun is always going to help you feel more confident to take action. All right. So Rochelle says, yes, yes, yes. That is what manifestation is all about. Yes, indeed. I agree. Well, that was our live for today. I said music. Movement is another way to, we don't want to just think our way into it. We want to ground it in our bodies. So whatever movement feels like it works for you can help to dispel fear. That's why when I think, I've taken so many acting classes where you do warm-ups before you actually start acting, right? And so like, what kind of warm-up are you doing before you're getting on a sales call? What kind of warm-up are you doing before you get on a live? What kind of warm-up are you doing before you share content or do a podcast interview? Whatever it is, like, it's not just the activity itself, it's everything that surrounds the activity that increases your confidence and belief in yourself. So that is our class for today. Thank you so much for joining. I would love to hear what insights or ahas or takeaways you are taking away from today. And if you haven't already downloaded my free gift, The Ultimate Guide to Client Creation, I dive deeper. I dive deeper into the 4 keys to manifesting clients. And so I'll pop that link in the comments and you're welcome to look at that. There's tons of strategies around marketing, on how to monetize, mindset hacks and how to make your manifestations stick. So I would highly invite you to check that out. And you're so welcome, Rochelle. So feel free to ask any questions in the comments and I will loop back around and answer them. Until next time, everyone, focus on your confidence and your confidence will focus on you. And if you focus on your fears will focus on you. And so with love and compassion, like we just be gentle with our fears like we would our child and be like, what are you afraid of? We can do this. I'm on your side. You get to be the adult and be the parent to your inner child that has fear and doubt about taking the next step in your business. All right, until next time, everyone, I will see you in the group.